Hello, welcome back to Who Be an Actor. My name is Mukharima Sulu and I am an actor. What is outside making all that rude noise? What's happening? I live in a major city and every once in a while someone sits on their horn really loudly, but we're a neighborhood, so you're not supposed to do that. It's against the law. But unfortunately, the council, they asked us if we were okay with them closing off some side roads so that they could turn this road into a major road so that they could reduce pollution. And we said no, because what that would mean is you're increasing pollution here. And also more traffic is more dangerous because we've got a few schools here and a few elderly people, quite a few elderly people. And they said, who cares? So we get a lot of traffic and a lot of noise, and we feel not heard. And let's talk about feeling not heard. Sometimes working in an environment, especially when your work is emotive or emotional, I'm so sorry, like, it's very distracting. They keep hooting. And it's a Sunday. Like, why? And people live here. Let it go. It's not that big a deal. Why am I acting like it is? Well, it is because this is my home and I should feel safe and comfortable in it. And it's a Sunday, and it's a rest day. They should be able to rest. So, feeling not listened to, which I guess is a cousin to feeling not heard, except feeling not heard for me is like you listen to what I'm saying, but you don't hear what I mean. And feeling not listened to is you don't even bother to listen to me. And both of those hurt for different reasons. Like the first one, feeling not listened to, is it's so dismissive. It's like you don't matter at all. So your opinion doesn't matter. Your thoughts don't matter. And that really does a number on you as a person and the value of your work and your presence. And then feeling not heard is difficult because you feel misunderstood. And in both cases, what I tend to do is oversubscribe in the personal responsibility department, as in I assume I'm doing something wrong, which is why you are not A, listening to me, or B, not hearing me. And sometimes, a lot of the time, it's the other person, because they have an entire life outside of us, outside of me, and I'm assuming this one moment of few moments in their lives means their entire life. When the truth of the matter is, when we are in that situation, it's more often than not you, not me. Not being heard has more to do with how that person interprets what's being said. And that's everything to do with their life experience, their personal beliefs, what traumas they bear, what expectations they have. It's a very much them thing. And how I put things forward is everything to do with who I am, what my personal beliefs are, what my traumas are, what my desires are. So those things coming into space together will be in competition if we don't have a calm existence. And by calm, I mean if we're both working from a place where we're exhausted, that breeds the potential for a lack of grace and the potential for misunderstanding. Whereas if we're both like, or if at least one of us is rested, one of us can invite grace into this conversation, and then we can be like, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. So do I look at you and try to clarify what I'm saying, or do I take account of the fact that you're potentially exhausted and just pull back and wait for a more opportune moment? And that's what grace does. It weighs the situation. And if we're both incapable of doing that, or if we can both be stretched to being incapable of doing that, like if you're at this moment capable of grace and I'm so tired or emotional that I'm beyond grace in this moment, and I keep driving forward my point rather than giving you space to retreat or retract or redirect, whatever needs to be said, that can push you beyond grace. And then both of us are here. And that's not a way to work. That's, at least in my experience, in my opinion, creatively, conflict does not create a great working environment. What it does is it causes us to raise our protective shields. And as soon as we raise our protective shields, we are stunting our ability to engage with each other. We can't connect with each other effectively because we're protecting ourselves from each other. And when we're protecting ourselves from each other and we can't engage with each other, we slow down or stop the creative process. Whereas what we could do is say, I'm tired, or I can't right now, and walk away. And if the other person is saying to you, well, you can't walk away, that's a signal that they're not for you in that moment. And now how do you deal with it? In a rehearsal process or work environment, how do you deal with someone who's potentially in authority over you saying, no, you can't walk away? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, other than recognizing that that's what's happening right now and then taking the psychological, emotional steps to protect your peace. I don't know. What happens in a rehearsal process is we by nature are emotional people as actors, because we have to be open to being moved. So we're being moved, and then someone comes in and moves us in a major way in a not nice direction. Because it's such a shock to the system, sometimes my response is sluggish, like I don't understand what's happening. And that means that I'm there far too long. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. So then you have to wait for the bell to ring, for rehearsal to be over, for work to be over, and then you're walking home. And you cry your way home so that you get rid of the feelings, or you analyze them, or you pray. I've done all three. And then you get angry, and then I get angry. Let me stop speaking in the third person. I get angry and I'm like, that could have gone better, and that had nothing to do with me. That had everything to do with the other person. Or if I'm in my hyper-aware phase, then I overanalyze my responsibility in that situation, and it turns into a, what did I do? Like, what did I do? And sometimes I did nothing. I just existed in that moment for that person. And I was a convenient location for negative expression, she says, clinically. Why are we talking about this? Well, first of all, I don't know. Secondly, because the creative process is a very intense process. And it's long. Like whether you're doing it for a 1 week or 2-day R&D, or you're doing it for a 6-month or 10-year contract. I'm talking about those people that are in recurring series and things like that. It is a long process. And sometimes you're going to have to be face to face with someone that rubs you the wrong way, or whom you cannot quite get into a place of getting along with. that can be scary depending on your career, like where you are in your career. So if you are at the beginning of your career, you start to feel nervous that if I say anything, I won't work again. If you are at the cusp of something great, because we're all waiting for that opportunity that changes our lives, that changes the course of our career, so that we can work where we want to work, with the people that we dream about working with, earning the money that we want to earn, change our lives and our family lives. All of this is me. If you're at the cusp of that, you feel like you have so much to lose, so you don't want to say the wrong thing because you don't want it to be misinterpreted. And then if you're at the height of your career, I can only assume that what is sometimes interpreted as some sort of ego trip may just be the fear of losing everything because of this one person misinterpreting what you're saying. That, or you genuinely become disengaged emotionally and psychologically with other people's well-being. I don't know. What I do know is it's important to express yourself in a healthy way. It's impossible to work from a place of constant fear. It's not healthy. You'll get sick. So it's very, very important that you express yourself in a clear and healthy way, in a respectful way, respectful of yourself and respectful of the other person and other people. You cannot be in a situation where you're scared all the time. You're uncomfortable all the time. That's not good. That is absolutely not good. There is someone in the last few days who is extremely powerful, who's left their job because of something extremely horrible. And as usual in our industry, and I'm speaking as a creative person who's working in entertainment directly, like film, television, theater, as usual, now that this has happened, so many people are speaking up about various uncomfortable encounters with this person. When I believe people don't get the opportunity to become who they are if we don't help them, good or bad. People don't begin, like, even the most connected people, the people who know the right people, they don't stay where they are, they don't get to where they are if we don't help them. So you have to protect yourself by being honest when it's safe to be so, obviously. So, like, I'm not advising radical behavior without a conscious awareness of your safety. I'm just offering that it's not good to be quiet when you know something's wrong. It's not safe. Like, we think it is because you get out of that situation so you feel relieved. But it's really not good. Personally, I know it's not because of various instances in my own life where I've been a person who's vulnerable under someone else's authority and been quiet about something that made me uncomfortable or made me feel unsafe or hurt, and thought that I'd dealt with it because I'd moved past that moment, as in I wasn't in that moment anymore, and only to later realize that I was still being affected by the feelings I felt in that moment. And part of those feelings was my guilt at not saying something. So I say all of that to say this: if you're feeling unsafe, say something. Don't be shy about another person's oppression of you. Don't be fooled into thinking you are responsible for someone not treating you like a human being that deserves dignity. You are a human being that deserves dignity. Because you are a human being. Because you are a being. You're here. You have every right to be safe. You have every right to be able to thrive, strive for what you want in life. You have every right to be respected. I hope you know that. I hope you're kind to yourself. And if you see something happening to someone else, please, obviously, stay safe, but speak up so that they can be safe too. Because if someone's bold enough to be unsafe in front of you, or in a place where they can be exposed, they are bold enough to do unimaginable things in private, or say unimaginable things in private. And I just want to be clear, I'm not, grandizing something. I'm just feeling compelled to encourage you to always, always take care of you. And then take care of others with the same diligence with which you take care of yourself. Whether you work in our industry, or you work in a corporate job, or whether you work in a school, or whether you work in a home, whatever, umuntu, you're a person. There is not enough time to begin to effuse about how brilliant that is. You are a person. You are the only person that is you. Stay safe. Stay loved. May God bless you. May He keep you. May He make His face to shine on you and be gracious to you. May He turn His countenance towards you and give you peace. I love you. I hope this message finds you at the right time and in the right place. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Hudbi an Actor, and I'm Mohadi Masuru, an actor. See you next week.